What's up, everybody? It is your boy Caleb. I am your host, Caleb the Artist, on Caleb's Hot Takes. Yes, y'all, if this is your first time here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your host, like I said, Caleb the Artist. On this page of Caleb's Hot Takes, we talk about reality TV, we talk about pop culture news, we talk about music news. I am a singer, songwriter, and producer, so if you guys feel called to check out my music, definitely hit the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code that's right there. Also, I do have merch if you guys want to purchase that's in the description. If you guys feel called to tip or donate towards my channel, that is also in the description. Also, I have another channel, Fearless Energy Tarot, where I do personal and general readings, so if you guys feel called to check me out on there, that is also in the description. And y'all, let's get into it, y'all. Yes, like I said, I am your host, Caleb the Artist, and today we're diving into the brand new season of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Gosh, I've been waiting for this moment for a while, and honey, the tea is piping. Bye. So, season 9 kicked off with a bang. It kicked off with an absolute bang. I love the premiere episode. I'm going to break it down. But I do want to point out some things also as well. But I love all the ladies. And we got some new ladies in the bunch, like I talked about in my last video where I introduced the new ladies or whatever, and who was on the cast. But there's so much things to unpack, you guys. Wow. Let's get into it. But like I said before, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on all things on the drama and my weekly breakdown. Okay, now let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about the first scene we saw as screens rolled in. We have a dramatic entrance, to say the least. I'm going to be sensitive about this because we don't want to play about people's lives on here, and that was a traumatic experience for Karen, I'm sure. I also just got into a car accident, not of the same magnitude, but I got hit. So, I can understand what it's like to have a car accident, PTSD. I never thought I, would have been in one. Thank God it wasn't due to any, impairment. But I will say I am going to be sensitive about this, and I don't do anything of tearing anybody down on this channel. Okay, this is all for fun, laughter, entertainment, and all of that. We're going to keep it light. But there was a reenactment of the crash with Karen, and it was interesting. Wow. It set the tone for the season. With those charges flashing across the screen, DUI, DWI, it was like a laundry list. Y'all, and I can't lie, I was shocked. I really was shocked because I like Karen. I love Karen. I love Karen. And I was really shocked. But the cast reactions, even more shocked. Even more shocked, you guys. Like, Ashley was worried about if it could be a repeated offense. And Ashley always has to hit. But I believe that's Housewives, though. I thought she could have been a little bit more supportive, though. But she was basically pointing out, like, hey, this is Karen's second offense of driving under the influence, which is true, but I just thought Ashley could have, maybe rallied around her a little bit more. But maybe that will come later on in these episodes, and we'll see that. But I just thought in that moment, I was like, ooh, Ashley, Why you had to do that? Mia's comments about Karen being a danger to herself, but not others, really stood out to me because I like Mia too, and Mia had I never I wouldn't even say Mia had to grow on me. Once I saw Mia in that premiere episode at Wendy's nude interlude, I knew I was like, yes, I like Mia. I like Mia. Um, but I'm not down with the people who get into it with the ones that introduced us to you. Um, and not saying you can't have banter with someone, but it's like when it's like disrespect, and it's like, where's the respect? Like, and it's not like you should even bow down to me because I introduced you to this platform, but at least like, bitch, show me a. Ooh, I'm sorry, I I did not mean to say that, but it like, girl, at least show me a little respect, or like, I don't know, maybe that's just my perspective because I feel like if I was, if I was in Karen's shoes and you're coming from me, I'd be like, girl, I introduced you to this group of ladies. And maybe I was the one that introduced you. You probably could have known other ladies and they could have introduced you too. But it's like, girl, I'm the one that introduced you. Not, don't do too much. So I thought that was interesting for me. Now here's where things get interesting. Giselle, well, of course, I love Giselle. Giselle is messy. She tried to get Karen to spill the tea during their lunch. But before that, she picked Karen up from work. Ooh, I said from work. She picked Karen. I'm sorry. Picked Karen up from home with Ray. Um, I thought I like Ray and Karen. He was very cute. Like you can tell he really loves her. And he's like, "All right, be safe, babe," and waving off. I just thought that was really cute. And Giselle, of course, I'm driving her, Ray. I'm driving her, Ray. Like, Giselle, you are so messy. Um, but they drove to this place where they are getting breakfast, and Giselle, of course, which I think is a real question, but it was kind of messy. She was like, "So, is it triggering if I drive by the crash site? Like, should we drive by the crash site?" And Carrie had to take it, but she was like, "I'd rather not." I just thought that was funny too. But we get to this lunch, and Giselle is showing her concern, saying that she really loves you, Karen, and how she really doesn't want anything bad. And it's great to see their friendship like that, but it's always good to see them when they're going through their little spats too, because it's hilarious. But they always find a way to come back together, which I love. Honestly, at this lunch, Karen didn't give nothing. She didn't give nothing. She didn't address really. Maybe I mean she addressed it, but she didn't give us what we wanted. Like it was very surface, which I think is like I take porn as where it's from because sometimes you don't have to tell all your business, and you basically tell the person it ain't none of your business in the most classiest way. Basically, she was like, things will be revealed. And when they are revealed, I will be vindicated. So, Karen has a way with words. But at the lunch, I'm sorry, she mentioned her mental state, which I also thought was important. Giselle basically told Karen like, "Hey, you always look like you're put together, like you're okay." And Karen was like, "Hey, pretty much like I sometimes I'm not always okay, sometimes I need to pick me up." Um, and she talked about like how she didn't really process the loss of her parents, and also still facing some marital issues. Um, and I think that that's important because what we go through as humans does play a part in our day-to-day lives. Um, but I love Karen. I think it's not something we need to skate, and I don't think they're gonna sweep it under the rug. But I'm sure she'll learn from this like she's learned from everything else. And I'm sure she has. Karen, we love you though. But that's really all we got. And what stood out to me was Karen's unwillingness to fully address the situation. But I mean, I love Karen, like I said, and I think she does amazing at standing true to protecting herself and her family, and I commend her for that. But the people, the people be talking. The people be saying that she's known for deflecting, which Karen does deflect from time to time. But at the end of the day, she's still the queen, and the grind down will forever reign over here, baby. And we ain't gonna talk too much about that, okay? So after that, I think the next scene is Ashley going to her lawyer, talking about finally getting a divorce. I like Ashley, um, but of course, she's there for security, but as she should be. I mean, shoot, this man about worth how much? How many $1 million? I do the same thing too. So Ashley, yes, girl, I ain't shaming you. I ain't shaming you. Um, but I do think, girl, you should have got some alimony or something, something. But I mean, shoot, he say he paying this, you paying this. Sometimes you gotta weigh out your options and just chunk it up. Chunk that up, but baby, at the rest, I ain't gotta think about that. Because at the end of the day, the babies is good. You got your home, and that's really all that matters. But Ashley goes to her lawyer. They're talking about finally getting a divorce. She speaks on finally wanted to date and has been dating. I think they showed like 2 or 3 scenes with her dating different people, and I thought that was cool. It was like it was different. It was definitely different, but it was nice and refreshing to see like okay, this is like a new era of Potomac, like a new phase in everyone's life, you know. Okay, so after that, I think the next scene was Mia and Gordon and the kids all playing at the park or whatever. And I want to be sensitive with this as well because I don't speak on kids. I don't want to speak on the kids, and I'm going to leave the kids out of this as much as I can, and because I don't do that. I don't do that. Um, so Mia and Gordon meet up at the park, and they are basically describing how it's like to now co-parent now that they're not together anymore. Mia mentions that Gordon has moved in the same building with her, so it's easier for them to co-parent. Um, I thought it was interesting. But I'm like, hey, if it works for them, it works for them, and I can't downplay them. I can't downplay them for that. Um, and then it was really good. They were showing love to the kids, which I think was amazing. And I think they really do a good job at showcasing the love for their children. They kind of excused the kids and they got to like real talk. And Mia was pretty much asking Gordon how does he feel about Ink being around and all of that. And Gordon, you can tell, like me as a man, I could definitely tell on Gordon, it hits different to him because I feel like he would have been okay with it if it didn't play out so public. Because I feel like some older men are okay with, doing that when they get to a certain age, like their wife having another man. But it's like once it gets to the point, like y'all are on TV, you have lots and lots of followers. So at this point, it's like it's embarrassing me as a man because like not all these people supposed to know what we got going on. And I think that still bothers him because I feel like let's say if they weren't on the show, me and Gordon, and They were still working at the joint chiropractor, doing all of that. It would have been cool if Ink was, because clearly he was already in the picture. You know, they kind of explained that last season when the blow up in the kitchen where Gordon was like, "Well, if you want fair, go to a carnival." It was kind of revealed that they were already dealing with each other, so it was like he already knew, but it's like it hits different now that it's in the public eye, right? That's how I feel. That's kind of what I observed from his body language, and he wasn't really feeling what she was talking about when it came to Ink. Um, and so she, Mia, I just be like, girl, cause I like Mia, I really do like Mia, but I just feel like, ooh, you are on a reality TV show, so it's like you do have to share it, but it's like, oh my God, I hated to see him like kind of be embarrassed. The fact that y'all are talking about the paternity of his child that he's raised for so long, and now you're telling me that the man that you already been fool la la with for a while, and I've known about it, but the fact that you're telling me the child that I've been raising, it could possibly be his, that's heartbreaking. I'm sure that's heartbreaking to him. And you left me, you know, they're getting a divorce, but they're still co-parents. You know, I'm sure they have an understanding. But it's like, damn, like that, it's like that. And I didn't like that. Me, I didn't like that, but it is the reality of the situation, and I respect you for doing it. I can say that, most definitely. Um, but I knew that scene wasn't gonna go right once she brought up ink. I just didn't. I already knew. Okay, and then I think after that scene, we got a glimpse of Dr. Wendy Osefo. I love me some Dr. Wendy. Very educated, very beautiful black woman. Okay. Um, her and Ashley were both dealing with some major life shifts this episode, and I loved it. I love the transparency of it. So let's talk about it. So Wendy officially resigned from her role as a professor, which absolutely felt like a big deal. And it's like she's such an educated woman that she could really do anything in this world. Um, to have that many, you know, doctorate degrees and master degrees, I love it. Um, Especially, I remember Wendy struggling last season with balancing family and work and her other ventures. So seeing her take this step, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. And I applaud her. I salute to her for trusting her intuition, for trusting her gut, and moving into this transitional stage in her life. And Wendy, I love you. Absolutely. I'm 23, so but I can understand what it's like, you know, wanting to try and do things when you're growing your life. And she made it a point to say, "Hey, I'm entering my 40s, and I just want to take a new, do a new." And I love that for her. I definitely love that for her. I think she's on the path to finding something more fulfilling, and I love that for her. I really do. I really, really, really do. Wendy, I love that for you. And I also wanted to make it a point that I saw this Instagram video of Eddie's degrees, and it was like, wow, I love seeing them together. It's true love with her and Eddie, and I love that they showcase that. I really do. And I just it inspires me. You know, it really does. He had like 4 to 5 degrees as well. So it's like, yes, come on, beautiful black couple, educated couple. So after that, we also meet a new face this season. We have Miss Stacy Rush. So Karen introduced her. She introduced us to her at her friend Vivian's Boutique, and I think Vivian is a beautiful woman. I feel like they've always should have shown Vivian more. Um, she's always been there at events, but they never really show her or like really let her talk. So this is the first season that we actually heard Vivian speak. I thought it was amazing. I always knew she was an African woman. She just looks very beautiful. Um, I'm here for Vivian. I feel like we Vivian just gives classy, like she just exudes money. Like she just gives me that. Just like very beautiful, very elegant, like very classy. And I think we should get more of Vivian. We need more of that to be brung back of the show. But Karen introduced us to Stacy at Vivian's boutique, and we learn that she's recently back in Potomac after quitting her job at QVC. So she's going through a divorce too, but unlike the other lady, she seems level headed about it in a sense. They didn't show us pictures of him, so it's clear, like in the picture that they did show, it was like them as a family, but they blurred out his face, so it's clear that he didn't get a release form. He didn't sign to the release form. So it gives he wants no parts. But I'm interested to see how Stacy fits in with the group dynamic. But let's be real, it's Potomac, and it won't be long before she's pulled into some drama. Because, honey, what gagged me was when they were at the boutique and um Karen pointed it out. It was like, girl, where's your ring? I don't see your ring. You been with your man for how long, girl? Where's your ring? She didn't say it like that, but that's pretty much how she was saying it, right? Um, and Stacy, that's where she spilled her tea, and I don't think she was gagged by it. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. Um, but what was the shady, funny moment was because she kept saying, "Where's the champagne? We should be getting our champagne right now." Let me say this. She really reminds me of like Katie. But she's like, "Where's the champagne?" So they finally get the champagne, and she goes like, "Oh my god!" It just made me think of like high school and the the fake dingy girls. They act like they're dingy, but they really not dingy. But they say the dingiest stuff. She's like, "Oh my god! I didn't. I forgot. We didn't ask you. Are you okay with us drinking champagne around you?" That was hilarious. So she basically like, is it okay? Like she basically saying Karen need an AA meeting. Like she talks some that and Karen says Karen was low key gagged. She was like, no, why would it be a problem? But she had to clean it up real good when she said, but I'll be enjoying libations with you all very, very soon. I'm still she threw in, she was like, I'm still on medication. And I was weak. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. She's like, oh, I forgot. Karen, are you okay with us drinking champagne around you? Yes, Stacy. I think I would like you. I don't like the way that they've introduced the newbies already. Well, maybe I don't know because when I think about like the Salt Lake City, they did a good job that first episode including the newbies in like scenes that like gave like flashbacks, and I wish if they would have done that up Potomac, that would have been cool. But I think it was a good episode. But let's see. Next is the tense ass Hatitude party. So at the Hatitude party, the ladies are all getting together to celebrate Karen's birthday. But of course, things went left quickly. So the ladies all get together and first, Mia's relationship was put on blast. So it flashbacks to last season when we saw Mia accuse Gordon of locking her in a room, and now she's asking for a paternity test for her son, like we said before. because of her affair with Ink. Like, what is happening? I don't know. The way Mia life is unraveling in front of the camera is wild. But she living in Gordon. They all living in the same building, and she shared that she was folding Ink's laundry and all of that. Which I'm like, I mean Gordon's, and I'm like, okay. But we get this tense moment when Jacqueline drops some tea. Excuse me. She says before Karen arrives, so she would be shady and try to say the shit before Karen arrives, so she couldn't address it, but it might come back around. She says she's claiming allegedly she heard Karen sounding a little bit tipsy over the phone. Child. Honestly, I don't know why, if it did happen, why Karen would call Jacqueline tipsy. Now, maybe Giselle. I can see that happening, but Jacqueline, I don't know. I think she wanted a moment. I don't know. Jacqueline, I like you, but tread lightly on the ground dime, okay? But, baby, once Karen arrived, they decked out in her bedazzled cowboy hat. The drama kicked